Alrighty then, welcome to Operation Flash Animation. Today we're going to be going over the basics of creating an animation using Flash. I'm going to start out by showing you kind of the basic tools and the things that you need to understand of how Flash works, and then we'll go on to create a very basic animation. But the first thing I want to show you is when you open up Flash, this is the first screen you're going to see, and this is the starting screen. Basically, this is where you can either open up a previous file that you've been working on, or you can create a new file, as it says right here. So we're going to create a new file. Just going to create a plain old Flash file, ActionScript 3.0. If you've got an older version of Flash, you're not going to be able to do a 3.0. It'll just say create new file or something like that. But it's going to be very similar to this, and you just click the button, and it will create a brand new clean file for you to create your animation in. Now, the first thing I want you to do is before you ever start animating, is you need to set up your stage. And your stage is this white area right here that you can see here in the middle of the screen, and this is where everything in your animation is going to happen. Anything that happens outside of this white box is not going to be seen in your animation, and anything that happens inside of it will be seen in your animation. It's very simple. But when you first open up your animation file, I want you to come down to your properties panel. Now in Flash CS4 it's right here, but in other versions it may be in a different spot. It's probably going to be down here by the timeline, or else you may have to come up here and click on Windows, select the Properties panel, and then it'll open it up and you'll be able to do this. But once your Properties panel is open, I want you to click Edit. And what this is going to do, it's going to open up a dialog box, and in this dialog box I want you to set your dimensions to 720 by 480, just like I got them here. So 720 pixels wide by 480 pixels high. And the reason you're going to do this is because that's the DVD standards, and so you might as well be thinking ahead. I mean, you may not be planning on putting your animations on a DVD right now, but you never know, in the future you may want to do that, and so you might as well kind of shoot for that from the beginning. It's not going to make your animation any more work, but it'll make you much more flexible in the future. So go ahead and set your dimensions to 720 pixels wide by 480 high. Then the next thing you need to do is, I always leave my background color to white, but if you would like, you can set it to any color you want. And not only can you select a color from in here, but you can also do your color code right in this box right here. If you don't know how to use that, don't worry. You don't have to. That's something you can learn later. For now, just leave it at white, and the next thing you need to do is set your frame rate to 30 frames per second. And what your frame rate is it's the amount of frames that Flash is going to go through every second. So when you first open Flash, this is going to be set to 12 frames per second, I think, is the default, but I want you to put it up to 30. There's a lot of reasons for this. Partly it's because it goes back to the DVD idea. If you ever want to put these on DVD, DVDs run at 29.97 frames per second, so putting this at 30 makes you really, really close, and it'll make it so that you can actually upload your animations to a DVD and have it still work, which will be really cool in the future if you ever want to do that. Not only that, but at 30 frames per second you have a lot more ability to animate more detailed movements, and like slower movements and quicker movements, especially because it'll give you a lot more room to work, which you'll see as you get into animation. It's very nice to be able to have 30 frames to work with in a second rather than just 12. So go ahead and set it to 30 frames per second, and then click OK, and now you've got your stage set up. And that is the first part to Operation Flash for animation. Now that you've got your stage set up, you can go ahead and move on to the next video, where we're going to talk about using the tools in Flash.